Okay, the numbers are moving, so I'm assuming it's recording. My dear, sweet, darling sister-in-law, Nan, talked to me the other day, and she works at a it's kind of like a big grocery store, I guess. She works at a big store anyway that carries groceries, and she had a customer the other day, a young businessman that she was checking out his groceries, and he excused himself for a moment and said he had an important phone call he had to take. Now, I don't know if this guy was a commodities trader or what, but I guess he looked pretty affected by this phone call that he had. And he turned to her, and he turned to the lady behind him in line, and he said, if you think that food prices are hard to, are unreasonable now, hard to deal with now, he said, just wait till you see what's coming. He said, what's coming will make your head spin. And she said he repeated it 3 different times. And then he encouraged both of them to go to the store and buy all that they could and store it away. And she said it just reminded her of me, because I'm always writing the family emails and notes and telling them to stock their shelves and fill their basement. Well, that story kind of got to me a little bit, because she said he repeated it 3 times. He told them, the prices that are coming will make your head spin. And I have had dreams in the last year and a half. I'm not a prophetess. I'm just saying I've had dreams that I went to certain particular places and bought certain particular things. And when I did the math and on these 5 different dreams that I had, it was pretty much, the prices were pretty much quadrupled. Because I had done like fast food and different places, different things, but it was approximately 4 times the cost. We've been blessed with cheap food for a long time. And instead of getting 10 little candy bars in a package, now you get 6. They did 8 for a while. Then they did 6. And so they've been trying to keep the price point the same by giving you 6, at first 10 candy bars, then 8 candy bars, then 6 candy bars, but the price point stays the same. So they've been downsizing the product on a fairly regular basis. The 5-pound bags of sugar are mostly 4 pounds now. The list could go on and on and on with those kind of things, but that really kind of got my attention, because we have had droughts, and we got through some pretty amazing droughts in 2011. But I'm not supposed to look worried. I'm supposed to look happy. How's that? Let's talk about it and be happy. Let's be happy for the disaster that seems to be brewing. I'm going to forget totally where I was at. We went through some pretty severe droughts in 2011, and the price of beef has not yet done what I thought it was going to do after they killed off all those cattle that they couldn't feed. So, but it feels different this time to me, not just because this guy went through my sister-in-law's grocery line. It just feels different to me this time. We've had times when, all the neighborhood lawns are yellow and they don't turn green again, not for a good long time. And we usually have a little dry streak, but the crops are not dead in our locality. In some places they're dead. They're beyond being salvaged. So, when do food prices rise? Well, I think a lot of that is really emotion driven. I am a little bit alarmed personally that we don't have I was going to do a separate video on that. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm a little bit alarmed that we don't have the food, we don't have the strategic food reserves that we once had. I haven't read things recently, but I've read things recently enough, and it doesn't take much math skill to figure this out. I hate to say this, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, boys and girls. I hate to say this, but it doesn't take a lot of math skills to figure out that you can only sustain so many crop failures and still feed the number of people that need to be fed. So of course the price is going to be affected. But when your country has basically let their food supplies dwindle down to zero nada, and the countries that don't like you have piled up a massive quantities of food supply, I would say that constitutes a problem. That's all I'm going to say. I am going further than that. But, we have a lot of concerns right now. And I was going to make a separate video about this, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to just stick this in here. When do you stock your freezer? Maybe I'll put the different titles up there. You don't have to actually figure out a title till the video's done. It's a good thing for me. I apologize. I'm probably still having sound issues. Some of that might be the fans I have going. If they don't clear up, I'll have to tackle that sooner or later. Try to bear with me. In the meantime, I will try to enunciate better. Okay, when do you stock your freezer? Well, there's a couple of good answers for that. When the supply is available, like when turkeys go on sale for dirt cheap in November, that's a good time. October, November, that's a good time to stock your freezer. So when it's available, or when your garden comes in and you have the stuff, that's a good time to stock your freezer. Another good time to stock your freezer, if you can, if you're able to, is to stock it in cold weather if you have cold weather, reliable cold weather where you live, because there are times of the year that I could probably open the door of my freezer in the garage and leave it turned off and be good for weeks. So uh, just something to think about. You obviously can't wait if you're freezing green beans out of your garden, or tomatoes or peaches or whatever. You obviously can't wait until December to put them in there. You need to do what you need to do, but I think I'll just throw that in this video. We will probably talk about grid failure more in the future, but for now I think I'm going to throw that in this video as well. Our electrical, the things I've seen on television and the things I've read, our electrical supply continues to function by the grace of Almighty God. And we would probably be well to bind our P's and Q's in that regard, because there are so many, I don't want to alarm anybody, I really don't, but there are so many ways that we could lose our electrical grid. I don't think I want to go into a lot of details with that for right now, but it's something that I really feel in my heart and soul, because I'm not prepared in the way that I should be, not really, that we should try to think it through and walk through the steps. How would you do A, B, and C? And even if the only thing you can do right now, and I know I kind of sound extreme sometimes, but if the only thing that you can do right now is to put your hamburger or sausage grease from your cooking, or from your beef roast or what have you, into your freezer and put it in a little butter tub or a plastic bag, then do that, and make sure there's some cardboard in your house, and save a few cans. Oh, I have this can I want to show you, but I don't want to jump up and get it right now. Maybe I'll show it in another video, but this would make the mama of all, what do you call those things, buddy burners. It's a 1 pound, it's a can from a 1 pound ham. I think I talked about this the other day, something about it, but it's wide. The can is like wider on one end, and I can't do that, like wider on one end and narrower on the other end, kind of like that. But if you fill that with liquid paraffin wax, you'd have yourself a really nice buddy burner. Now, hamburger grease and sausage grease do not work well as far as making a buddy burner is concerned, because they're full of soot. But if it was something that you could store versus storing nothing, and you could put it out in a yard or in a garage with the door open, and you could put a number 10 can on top of it with little holes cut in the side of it, and boil water with a lid on the water so you don't get any soot or ash in the water. And then you can take that water in the house and make hot chocolate with it, or you could make dissolved jello with it, or you could make instant soups with it, or you could make mashed potato flakes with it. Then you'd have something versus nothing. You'd have something versus nothing. So the only thing you do for now is save your hamburger grease, because you want to put your money, into other things. Then just at least do that. Just talk about it. It's not going to hurt anybody or anything. Just freeze it. and you could make an emergency buddy burner out of it. They last a long time. I played around with it last summer. I just got really, really curious. And then I took, and I talked about this in a recent video, I'm going over 10 minutes. Then I took some, was it hamburger grease? It was hamburger grease from a 1 pound chub of burger. I don't know if it was like 80/20 or what it was, but I took the grease from that, and what did I make with that? Donuts. That's what it was. And I never never got them to the camera because by the time I could get to the camera, the donuts had left, left the premises. So anyway, I took, if the only thing you can do is put your hamburger and your sausage and your um, beef roast or what have you, grease into the freezer, you could make donuts with it, and your kids are not going to ask you what's in it. They're going to eat the donuts. You could make the donuts versus not having any oil or shortening to make the donuts with. So I did this just to see. And I just scraped it out of the pan, took the little tiny pieces of meat out of it, mixed it up with, like, I guess it was egg and oil, and no, not oil, egg and hamburger grease and milk and sugar and salt and yeast and flour, and just made up a little miniature batch of donuts. Not the 86 donuts, 86 holes recipes. I'm getting tired here. I'm going to get punchy here in a minute. But the saucepan I used was like a 1 quart saucepan, and I only put like yay much oil in the bottom of it to fry them with. So anyways, you don't need to know any of that. And by the time I get done with this video, I'm not going to remember what it was about, and then I'm really going to have a problem. But anyway, do what you can, and it just concerns me to see that we don't have the food reserve as a nation that we need, and we'll see how things go. I wish the best for all of us, and just do what you can. Don't, please don't take your kids out for expensive dinners if you can't afford a food supply, and please don't take expensive vacations if you can't afford a food supply. Please don't spend a lot of money on clothing. I I went. I shouldn't tell this story in this video because it has no connection, and now I'm over 12 minutes. They're getting really long lately. But I went to a thrift store and bought clothes for when I hopefully get this weight back off I'm struggling with now. And I can't tell this story right now, but anyway, once I found out everything was half off, my husband was in line paying for it. And once I found out everything was half off, I went back and got all the stuff I kind of sort of liked, and I was like running between the cash register because they were already bringing them up. I had to hurry because there was people in line behind them. So, everything was like $1 and $2. And they were cute things, like the things I used to wear when I was young and thin and so forth, and healthy, young and thin and healthy. So that should have been a video about clothing storage. I should show you the stuff I bought, but we packed it all away in boxes for when I can fit into it. End of story. So please don't criticize this video because I know it's the sound quality is bad and I kind of fudged around with the topics. But don't forget some kind of clothing supply. Don't forget to do what you can with what you have until you have something better, until you can afford to freeze butter or buy butter powder or buy shortening powder in a can or buy oil and rotate the oil or do all of those until you can afford that. At least don't throw your grease in the garbage. Just freeze it. Just put it in a baggie, put it in a butter tub, put it in Tupperware or whatever, and freeze it for now. And if you need it to heat up water or whatever in the future, it will be there. But be forewarned, it makes good, and the buddy burner instructions are on the channel here, and you can find them any place on YouTube. So I didn't even speak up. Please forgive me. I'll try to get the sound issues under control, but I'm not turning these fans off now until the heat breaks. 14 minutes and 50 seconds. God bless your efforts. To prepare, make a list, check it twice so you can eat more than just foods and just right. Bye. God bless you.